Welcome to this tutorial for assignment number 2. I will show you how you can interact with the data in order to complete your assignment. First, click on the link in the instructions. It will take you to the Global Disease Burden website. It's actually called something else, but we say this for short. So if you click on the link in the instructions, you will get to a page that looks like this. What do you see here? Well, you see a lot of information. In order to do this tutorial and to give you an overview and the basics, I've prepared a simpler version of this graph that we can look at to begin with. It looks like this. So what do you see here? Well, you see what makes people sick and die around the world, what shortens people's lives, what kind of diseases make how many people sick and causes them to die. We call this the global burden of disease. So that's the big box that you see here. It takes up most of the screen. But as you can see, the big box is made up of 3 smaller boxes in different colors. You have a blue box, a red box, and a green box. The blue box is called NCD and represents non-communicable diseases, things you heard about in week 5. Group I, or Group 1, which is what the red box is called, represents communicable, maternal, neonatal, and nutritional diseases, which is what we talked about in weeks 2, 3, and 4 of the course. The green box, injuries, represents injuries and disasters, which you also heard about in week 5 of the course. So this page shows you what diseases or injuries are making people sick or even killing people around the world. Now let's go back to the first page. So once you click on the instructions once you click on the link in the instructions, you get to this website. This is what the page looks like. Up here you have the settings corner, and you can look at what causes death, what kind of disease causes death, or what are the risk factors for the disease. You can look at dailies or deaths in metric. In location, you can choose a country or a region, and you can look at what affects people, what makes people sick, and what kills people in that country. In year, you can look at data from all the way back in 1990 to 2013. In age, here you can look at data for young children, teenagers, adults, or older people. Here, you can look at data for men or women or both. There is one factor that's missing in order to do our assignment. In order to get this factor, you need to go up to the right-hand corner of the settings corner and click Use Advanced Settings. So click it, and we see how level pops up. In level, you can move the green cursor down and up the line in order to get a less detailed version of the graph or a more detailed version of the graph. For the assignment, we're going to move the cursor to level 2. So I just click and drag and see how the boxes change and make it a little bit easier to read. You can also change metric. So we can change it to deaths by choosing and clicking, and we see how the boxes move. In location, we actually get a long list of countries or regions which we can choose from. So we can choose to look at a country or like Paraguay, or a region. We can also type in the name of the country that we want to look at. So for example, Sweden. Let's see how the boxes change when I choose Sweden. Wow, they changed quite a bit. In year, I can drag the cursor down to get data from previous years. So I will drag it all the way down to 1990. The boxes change a little, but they change. If you want to understand what a box means, you can hover your mouse over the box. So what does CVD mean? Well, I hover the mouse over the box and I see that it means cardiovascular diseases. I also see the percentage of total deaths in this box. I also see the annual change, but we don't need to go into that for this assignment. Now it's time for you to go to this website, change the settings according to the instructions, look at the data, analyze the data, and complete the assignment. Good luck!